How to spot altcoin trends before they explode. I'm going to be talking about a serious pattern that we should be paying attention to here for the altcoins, which I think if this pattern breaks, we're going to be seeing some major altcoin explosions that we have not even seen yet since Bitcoin has broken through its all-time highs, kickstarting this bull cycle. Some more explosions, kind of like back in 2024, right? Early 2024, even late 2023, and of course, a lot more like 2021, the last bull cycle when it was getting crazy. Okay, so we're going to be getting a little bit into that. We're also going to be talking about some altcoin setups as well as their price targets for XYO network, the XYO token, Starknet, the STRK token, as well as what is the other one? Let me take a look again. It's gonna be XEC, which is eCash. See what's happening in these coins and their setups on what they could potentially be doing next. Some price targets that I think you guys should definitely be paying attention to. We're also going to be talking about some major economic and crypto news that could affect the markets, as well as Bitcoin, which is still the driver of this crypto market. Bitcoin dominance has been falling below 60% now, but still very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin because Bitcoin still needs to hold 110K in order for this bull market to continue. I think that's very likely. I've been saying that's very likely that Bitcoin has already kickstarted its bull cycle, and I think we're on its way to some major bullish price action here. All right, but first of all, let's go ahead and take a look into some major crypto news and economic news that could affect the markets. This one is by News BTC. Dogecoin draws new attention as open interest tops $3 billion. Hey, I am not surprised by this because, as like I said, if Bitcoin was able to break its all-time highs at that 110K level, the altcoins are going to be following. Okay, you want to be rooting for Bitcoin. I don't trade altcoins without a clear understanding of Bitcoin. This is why I talk about it first things first on a daily basis. And of course, if Bitcoin dumps, that is still bad for the altcoins. Okay, so I think a lot of these altcoins are going to be, people are going to be flooding into these altcoins, as I have seen back in 2021, especially after Bitcoin, breaks all-time highs, which it did already. Next one here is going to be by Cointelegraph. Bitcoin bulls charge at all-time highs as trader says 126K pivotal. I think 125K was my price target for a short-term pattern on the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Okay, I think it's gonna get a lot higher because if we actually take a look at the monthly RSI reading for Bitcoin, it's still nowhere near its FOMO levels back in 2021, which was near the peak of the first wave of the bull cycle, as well as 2017, the previous bull cycle. I'm not saying it has to play out exactly like that, but I mean there hasn't been anything that's telling me otherwise yet. Next is going to be by Crypto Potato. New all-time highs for Bitcoin or harsh rejection ahead. Bitcoin price analysis. So, there are still some mixed signals, right? On the daily time frame, there is bearish divergence. On the 3-day time frame, there's still bearish divergence. Weekly time frame, there's still bearish divergence, and so is the monthly time frame. Okay, so we have quite a bit of bearish signals for Bitcoin right now. It's still very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin right now because of all those bearish signals. But I have seen bearish divergence, which usually indicates a pullback, invalidated during major bullish breakouts, namely back in November of last year on the weekly time frame, December 2020 on the monthly time frame, October 2017 on the monthly time frame. So those are during major breakouts. Could this happen again? I'm betting my money on it, right? Of course, that is just my opinion and what I'm personally doing, not financial advice. You gotta do your own research. I am long on Bitcoin and quite a bit of the altcoins here, so my opinion on this market is still bullish. I'll tell you guys when I change my opinions. And my opinion on this market is still bullish is because of that cup and handle pattern breakout for Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, and that we're nowhere near a FOMO RSI reading on the monthly time frame yet. All right, next piece here is gonna be about Cointelegraph. Bitcoin institutional volume hit 75% on Coinbase in new BTC price signals. So let's just get a little bit into this right now. Key points here is, Coinbase institutional Bitcoin trading volume hit 75%. Something that has always seen the Bitcoin price rise a week later. Okay, so I think from the key point here, it is looking like there's going to be a surge a week later from now. Okay. Next key point is institutions are buying a lot more Bitcoin than is being mined daily. So that means it's going to drive up the price because it sounds like there is less supply on the market since miners are mining less than what is being bought. That's my interpretation. Um, Now, next key point, risk assets are finding reasons to be bullish again as the U.S. economic policy outlook improves. What it's talking about here, what I think it's talking about here, is this: the Fed rate cut, the Fed rate cut that is basically set in stone as of today for September, the next FOMC meeting in September. Let me show you guys the CME watch tool. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to load. But it's basically, last time I checked, it was at 99.9%. Wow, this is crazy. I wonder what increased the probability even more from yesterday at about 94%. If you guys know, please leave it down in the comments. I haven't read any other news yet. But with the Fed rate cuts, that's going to be fueling risk on assets like crypto and stocks. All right, let's go ahead and go to next. Let's go to some charts here. Yes, one exclamation mark. Why you guys should be paying attention to this? It's because it has high correlation with Bitcoin. This is the stock market S&P 500 futures. It has already broken through this cup and handle on the hourly time frame. Let's see if it can stay above this. It has hit about 6,500, which is crazy. And it has high correlation with Bitcoin, which drives the altcoins. So this is something to be bullish about as well. Let's go ahead and go to Bitcoin here. Just do a quick look here because not much has really changed. It's still trying to break out of 123K, right? That was basically the previous top, right? And I've been mentioning this, Bitcoin trying to actually broke out of this falling wedge pattern. Price target out of here would be about just right underneath 125K. It's trying to get above that. Let's zoom in a little bit and see if we can get a little bit more clarity. Hourly time frame. Okay, hourly time frame, smaller cup and handle pattern that is still forming, right? And the price target, if this actually forms when it retests about 122.5, then we're looking at a price target here of about 120, almost 127K here. So that could be what the trader was talking about. Of course, price targets are estimates only. There could be more or less. I am betting on more right now, right? So let's go ahead and go to altcoins. This is the total three altcoin charts, and what I've been talking about. What I was saying earlier at the start of this video was if total three breaks out of if and when, right? More like when total three breaks out of 1.15 trillion, okay, the market cap, I think the altcoins are going to be exploding, right? Nothing like we have seen just yet this year, right? Because if you actually look, this is the monthly time frame, okay? We're still trying to break all-time highs that was set back in 2024 and 2021, okay? If we actually break 1.15 trillion, which we're not far away, this is going to set the altcoins off. And I mean, what we're seeing right now in the altcoin markets, it's it's not going to be anything like we're going to be seeing if we break out of this level, when we break out of this level. So something to be paying attention to. I don't see so let's on the RSI here, we still have quite a bit of time until this monthly candle closes. So I don't really see weekly bearish signals here yet. Well, actually, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so weekly time frame, we could be seeing possible bearish divergence. Okay, if we actually compare a possible break here with this previous high. Um, So yeah, very important to be paying attention to some of these signals as well on the RSI. But I'm going to be looking for a break above 1.15 trillion first, and then interpret the signals to you guys. Now let's go ahead and go to altcoins here. We're going to be taking a look into. We're going to be taking a look into eCash first. See what has happened in this market. Weekly time frame. eCash. Probably the 3-day time frame, where I can actually validate the trend lines with 3 candle touches. I like them to be as close as possible, and this is enough, right? 3-day time frame, falling wedge pattern. You guys should be paying attention to this pattern. It's probably the most common, effective, and simple pattern that tells you after an extensive downtrend that the price action is more likely to be breaking out to the upside. Now, if eCash breaks by this point, let's just say, for example, price target for eCash would be about 4 zeros and 87. Okay, so that's quite a bit of a move here for a bigger altcoin like eCash. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame and see if there's any patterns that we should be paying attention to. Not exactly. So on this 4-hour time frame, okay, there could be a cup and handle forming. Still too early to say. If it comes back up here and retests this level at about 4 zeros and 25, maybe 2 more times, then I could see a possible cup and handle pattern. And of course, if this rounded bottom trajectory continues, that also has to happen, because that will make up a rounded bottom, which is the cup part of the pattern. So that's basically what I'm seeing for eCash on a higher time frame, zooming into a lower time frame. Let's go ahead and go to Starknet, STRK, see what's happening in this coin here on a higher time frame first. So Starknet, weekly time frame, falling wedge pattern. Okay, falling wedge pattern on the weekly time frame. It's already broken out, okay, and it's broken out back in July, the first week of July, or the second week of July 7th, okay. Price target for this breakout here will be about $1.20. Of course, that's an estimate only. Very much depends on how the market is doing, right? The overall markets. if it's either in a bull market, which I think we very much are in, or a sideways market, or a bear market, right? That's what I mean by that's how I also interpret the price target. Okay, depending on the type of market that we're in, and I think very much we're in a bullish market right now, so it has a pretty good chance of smashing through that price target. Okay. Of course, nothing is 100%, right? It's not 100%. I've seen scenarios where a breakout happen and the price action falls way short of its price target and begins dumping again. So have to take into consideration of those scenarios and the downside as well, because nothing in this market is a given. So there's quite a bit of moving averages that could be acting as resistance, right? Including the weekly 50 SMA at about, on this time frame, at about almost 30 cents. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame and see what Starknet could be dealing with. 4 hour time frame, a more um, a more formed possible cup and handle pattern. It does need to come up here to about 16 cents. What I'm looking at here, probably two more times to form a cup and handle pattern, but that's my best guess on what it could be happening. And then if it does form that pattern, we can come back here and update the charts if enough of you guys want to see it. Let's go ahead and go to XYO network and see what's happening in this coin here. All right, XYO network. I talked about a falling wedge pattern. Like I've been saying, you guys should definitely be paying attention to this pattern. Okay, falling wedge pattern. Price target, since it broke out already. Price target here will be about 3.9 cents. Hasn't done much for quite a while, but the breakout is still valid. The price target has not been met yet, obviously. So this breakout still valid because the price action is still above the breakout point and the price target has not been met. Let's take a look onto a smaller time frame where I mentioned to you guys there was a falling wedge pattern again. And it broke out, right, back in August 3rd, right? And the price target for this falling wedge pattern was about 1.3 cents. And XYO network has basically went above that. What we could be seeing here for XYO network is another potential cup and handle pattern that could be forming because we have rounded bottom trajectory on this daily time frame. We have a resistance expected to be about a clear resistance because it was a very hard rejection, right? And that was at about 1.6 cents almost. So right here, if it does come up here with a rounded bottom trajectory, this could form a cup and handle pattern. Still early to say, but that's just my best guess. So let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of these coins by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll bring you guys an update if enough of you guys want to see it. Let me know if you guys want to see any other coins in this market, and I'll pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis.